What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with this amazing news. AJ Kelly directly confirmed from Good Vito about his upcoming competition plans for 2025. And let's just say the Pittsburgh Pro that is happening for the very first time for the Men's Open and the New York Pro. They're gonna have the most competitive Men's Open lineup in a long time, because Good Vito is also planning to do both these shows as well as the Arnold Brazil. And I do hope that him winning this upcoming Arnold Brazil, that doesn't change his competition plans. Because this time there isn't gonna be any Rafael Brandao or Tony Burton doing that show. So Vito can realistically win that show quite comfortably and qualify for the Olympia for the very first time in his career. And I have got to say you cannot count him out for the bigger shows like the Pittsburgh Pro as well. Because it was already pretty damn close between him and Martin Fitzwater at Detroit Pro this year. And this we all know is gonna be a new and an improved version of Good Vito, who is coming back to the stage after a 1-year gap where he has gone up to 290 pounds while staying in a very great off-season body composition. And when you have genetics like Good Vito, you can always be very dangerous in any show that you enter. Now if this trend continues with the top guys, they are doing multiple shows every year. This is kind of a bad news for the young up-and-coming IFBB pros, because there will be less opportunities to qualify for Miss Olympia. Now on the other hand, that is a good thing as well, because that is going to push all these guys to work even harder. So Good Vito is a great talent, and we will be thrilled to see him compete in the biggest shows of the year next year. The giant killer Shaun Clarida, the former 212 Olympia champion, releases an 11 weeks out physique update, as he is going back to the Men's Open Arnold Classic next year. So this is his second time doing this show. The first one was done last year, where Shaun placed 5th. Now if you guys remember, Shaun Clarida was just so overhyped by Nick Walker and Matt Jensen that even they themselves believed that Shaun is gonna be fighting Nick Walker for the Arnold title that year. But the results were just totally different, because we had some major mass monsters at that show like Samson Dauda, Andrew Jack, and Big Ramy. And that just goes to show us only a few guys from the 212 like Hadi Chauhan, Derek, and in the future maybe Keone Pearson. They are the only guys who can beat the biggest names in the men's open bodybuilding. Even though all of these guys, they are originally from the 212. Now Shaun Clarida might be the giant killer, but this is a very late stage in his career, and there is only so much he can do to beat some of these big names at this upcoming Arnold, because this time again we have Samson Dauda and Andrew Jack. Not to mention Derek Linsford, who has those unbelievable proportions. Now is it just me or the other people have also noticed this, that Shaun's chest really is that area where he needs so much improvements compared to the rest of his physique. Now the condition at 11 weeks out, that is just insane. But you have got to remember, he just finished competing at this year's Prague Pro, where he finished behind Martin Fitzwater and Chris Bumstead. So he stayed in a perfect shape post-show. So the Arnold Classic next year, that has an insane lineup. The top 3 are logged in by Samson Dauda, Derek, and Andrew Jack. So Shaun will obviously be looking to repeat a top 5 placing here. So what do you guys think? How high can Shaun place at this upcoming Arnold? The boss of Outlaw Stefan is gonna have 3 guys in this upcoming Arnold lineup in the Men's Open: William Bonac, Shaun Clarida, and James Hollingshead. And all these 3 guys, they are gonna enter this show with a strong intention of placing the highest. But here is the conqueror William Bonac, the 2 times Arnold Classic champion, who defied all the odds, and he was able to beat so many good guys at this past Miss Olympia. Guys he just wasn't supposed to beat. For instance, Brandon Carey and Rafael Brandao. Now that is the real thing that literally allowed him to rethink about his retirement decision, because he made a statement last year that he wants to retire by doing the Olympia in 2024, and that he did. But it is quite easy to understand the thought process of William Bonac now that he has placed top 7 in the world. Because the thing is, some of these guys, they are willing to go and compete at the highest level, but they never know when to stop. They love to compete, and how will a guy like William Bonac make a living after retirement? And as the 7th best bodybuilder in the world, he can still win multiple shows in this upcoming year. And based on what William Bonac brought to the Olympia stage this year, he is definitely going to be looking to place top 4 at this upcoming Arnold. And that, I have got to say, is a very realistic goal. And the fact that William Bonac has been one of the most consistent guys over the years, especially when it comes to nailing his look and bringing top-notch conditioning on the day of the show. The mutant Nick Walker continues to get used to this current body weight, which is somewhere in the 290s. And not that this is the first time Nick Walker has touched that kind of weight. In fact, he was 300 pounds when Dom Superslice was coaching him, and that was the highest he went in the off-season. But Nick Walker doesn't intend to do that for now. So no show has been announced so far by Nick Walker. But it is more than likely that he will go for this upcoming Pittsburgh Pro and possibly the New York Pro as well. And that, I think, is the only way to regain the momentum and that hype that Nick Walker has lost over these last couple of years. I mean, just look at the two competitions that Nick did in the last 2 years. The Arnold 2023, which he entered as the favorite, but he lost to Samson Dauda, and the New York Pro this year, which he barely won against Martin Fitzwater. But let's just not forget how good Nick Walker looked at his last Olympia appearance. And that is a perfect example when he placed top 3, beating guys like Big Ramy, Samson Dauda, Brendan Kerry, and all these other guys. Now, we really did not get any explanation on what Nick and Matt went when they said his body just wasn't responding. And as much as Nick Walker gave the respect to his former coach Matt Jensen and so much credit for his success, but things just did not end well, especially because of that video. But Nick Walker is now set to make his comeback with a new coach, and he is very much comfortable with the way things are looking right now. No one in the entire IFBB Pro League has a better V-taper, a more wow factor than Keone Pearson, especially in that front double biceps. And to think that this is him in the health phase, where he isn't even pushing anything. Now his food must be high all this time, and he must be on TRT, because the man looks insane. So this isn't something you can build in the gym. The V-taper is a genetic thing, and now that Keone is really coming into his own, he's improving with every passing year. He looks so unbeatable. Now I personally think that the 212 is probably gonna get boring, and so easy to predict for the future years, because as long as Keone is staying in this division, no one is touching him. So he has given himself another 3 years, where he's gonna keep winning the 212 division, and only after that, we will get to see him compete in the men's open bodybuilding. So there was more muscle on Keone's back this year, and maturing all that new muscle, getting that density, that is on his top priority list, as well as having more of an upper chest shelf. So is there any other bodybuilder with a more crazy V-taper than Keone in the front double biceps? Well, let me know in the comments below. And also hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.